Hello everybody, my name is NCX and welcome back to the Breakdown, the series where I break down a certain gaming or esports topic for you guys and give my opinion. Today we're going to be talking about the 3 roster changes that have happened recently in COD that I think notably need to be talked about for, sections of a video. Now I know roster mania isn't over yet by any means. Oh, excuse me. But I feel like these rosters I want to talk about right now just because of how impactful they're going to be. And those are the new 100Thieves lineup, the new OpTic gaming lineup, and the new Team Envious lineup. Let's start with the one I think is going to have the least amount of talk, is the Team Envious lineup. The Team Envious lineup essentially dropped the entire roster except Hugh and picked up the World Champion EG roster. This roster is now Hugh or Hook, Aches, Apathy, Silly, and Assault. I apologize for my yawning. As I said, this EG lineup of Aches, Apathy, Assault, and Silly won COD Champs this year for World War II. And Hugh has just beginning to find his place back in Call of Duty after playing Halo for about 2 years. He's at the end of COD, at the end of World War II, we definitely saw a lot more of AW Hugh, and he was definitely the main star of the Envious lineup. And you can tell he was getting back into his major form. Going into BO4, I don't know if a lot of teams would have taken the risk on Hugh if it was 4v4, because sure, we may have seen we may have seen a little bit of him coming back, but why would you want to screw up a lineup? Like, if EG wanted to pick up Hugh, who would you drop? You're not dropping Apathy because he could be one of the best subs in the game, especially in a Treyarch game. And then you're not dropping Silly because he was your second best player at COD Champs. I mean, there was in 4v4 that lineup would not break up; they would stick together. But since it's now 5v5. A lot more teams can take a risk on certain players, and I think Hugh is one of the best examples. He is a player that has so much potential, but because of maybe him going to Halo for 2 years, you don't know if he's going to go back to his AW Hugh days, which were unbelievable. Similar to Scump level of skill back then. But now that they brought Hugh into this lineup, I think this team is going to be average. I don't know where they see this from. I really don't know where they see this from. If you look at this roster, especially going to a Boots game again and going to a Treyarch game, I think this lineup's stacked. I think this lineup is absolutely stacked. For one, the roles make sense. The roles make sense. You're having your 2 main subs. You're having, obviously, Apathy's your sub, and you're having... Excuse me, again, a yawn. You have Apathy as your main sub, Hugh as your secondary sub, you have an Assault as your main AR, and then you're either going to have Aches as your flex, or you're going to have Silly as your flex as well and do a double flex, or you're doing Aches as the second main AR, and Silly as the flex, which could, again, Silly and Aches that role, like, I've seen Silly run an AR, but I can also see Aches run an AR, especially because Aches was a main AR. But I've also seen Silly been able to run AR. So depending on what they want to do, but the roles fit. It's not like they have a role problem. And if we're basing this off of the World War II Champs play by them, I mean, this roster looks untouchable. Assault looked like... A lot of people are forgetting to talk about Assault for some reason. Like, the man literally had one of the best COD champs ever, and you could just tell by his play, he reached like a new level in his gameplay. And then moving back to Aches finally has found his old school stride. He may not be considered the best player in his team, but I'm so sorry for the yawn. It is very late while as I am recording this, and apparently I yawn when I talk fast. And Aches is finally getting his stride back. He's becoming that classic player we like to see, who is putting up those numbers that he needs to. he may not be dropping the most, but he's putting up what he needs to at that specific moment. And you could definitely tell the plays he's making are definitely boots on the ground aches, aka like the 1v1 against Hugh. That was a very, very intelligent play by him at Champs, and you can definitely tell his veteranship or veteranness was shown from that 1v1. Silly looked like, well, Silly didn't look silly, I'll tell you that. He looked like a very, very dominant submachine gun player, and something that I think was one of those things where it's like the Wuskin and Scraps thing. He got better when he left United, and United got better when they dropped him. So I think Silly will continue that not dominance, because it wasn't like he was dropping, you know, 40s, high 30s every hardpoint. Well, I mean, he kind of was, but definitely Silly. Silly. It's what I'm trying to say is Silly won't downgrade into BO4. He may not upgrade that much, but he's definitely not downgrading. And what he's at right now is enough to win another championship. And obviously, Apathy, very consistent player, one of the most consistent subs of all time, and still showed why he should be considered a top 5 sub in the game, no matter what Call of Duty, and no matter what is going on. And that he is a top 10 player in the game with aches, or top 10 player of all time with aches. And going into BO4, BO4 is going to play very, very fast. What I think could hurt this team is I do think this team has a slower mindset for some things. I do think that Aches is a slower player, and I think Silly is a slower player as well. The pacing could be off with them depending on who is running flex, because you do have Hugh, who is a very aggressive player, but then again, Hugh is not a dumb player. He's willing to learn, he's willing to learn and willing to learn from veterans, and I think maybe he could adapt. But BO4 is definitely going to be played, I think, different than any other COD. Especially now that it's 5v5. You can't really... I personally think it's going to be played a little bit more faster, but at the same time a little more strategic. Like, it's not going to be played, like, dumb fast. Like, you're just running around hoping you kill somebody. But it's definitely not going to be, you know, slow, like I guess BO2 is pretty slow. But even slower than that, like, we're never gonna see, we're not gonna see that. And, you know, you're literally just pre-aiming one thing the entire game. That's not what BO4 is gonna be. BO4 is gonna be an aggressive game per se, but also strategic. So there might be a pacing issue with that team, but in reality, I don't see a flaw with this team. I think this team has the potential to be a top team, if not the top team going to BO4. Well, maybe not the top team. There are 2 other teams that I need to talk about. But finishing up the EG segment, I think that picking up Hugh, I mean, if Hugh turns into AW Hugh, he's not going to turn into AW Hugh. I don't think people realize that. He's going to turn into a better version of AW Hugh. So you could literally have the best submachine gun player in the game, an MVP world champion in Assault, who arguably should be in more talks as the best AR in the game, and then Aches, which I don't know why people keep doubting Aches. You can't doubt Aches anymore. It doesn't matter what role he's playing, what game he's playing, he will show up when he needs to. And then obviously Silly and Apathy being very consistent players, especially Apathy being the most consistent subs in the game. So this team has a lot of potential, especially if Hugh becomes this all-star player like everybody wants him and everybody thought he can or will do. So again, finishing up the EG lineup, I think this lineup is very underlooked, and I think a lot of people are kind of forgetting about it because of the other roster moves that have happened. But I am very excited to see this roster play, and I do think this roster can be and will be a top 5, top 3 team in the game, especially when it comes out. Moving on to the next roster I want to talk about is the OpTic Gaming roster that just was formed. In funny events, Karma has been added back, along with Dashy and TJ Halley. Now, the lineup is now Crim6, Scumpy, Karma, Dashy, and TJ. Now, this lineup is very flexible and can do a lot of different roles. For one, Karma has said he wants to play AR. Okay, we have an AR, but the AR can also play sub. Karma can play a sub, not as well as his AR, but he can definitely play a sub that's flexibility. He wants to play main AR, but his flexibility will come in handy if anything changes. Dashy is looked at as a main AR. He is a main AR. His AR shot is one of the purest we have seen in the past few years, and in my opinion, he's the top prospect. You know, people say Pharaoh. I guess because people think because top prospect means rookie. I mean, Dashy's young. He just became a pro. Dashy, I think, is a top prospect going into BO4. And I think he definitely was looked at very highly in World War II. A lot of people had him in top 5s, top 3 AR lists without even getting top 4 in an event, which I'm not hating on. It's just amazing that a player can do that. So he is definitely no joke. His shot is amazing. He's a very smart player for how young he is. So boom, Karma, Krim, AR, or not Karma, Krim, Karma, Dashy, AR with some flexibility with both players. That's right, Dashy can be a very flexible player. He can play sub because at the end of IW when he got picked up by Straight Rippin', I believe he used a submachine gun, and the man was nasty. The man played fast. The man was very, very deadly on a submachine gun. So it's not like he just can only play with an R and he's a one-trick pony. It's not it at all. So you have two main ARs that are flexible players as well, which is nice to know. Moving on, we have arguably the best submachine gun duo in the game now, TJ Halley and Scump. I mean, now obviously Scump in World War II was very underwhelming and definitely not the Scump we've known to watch. But I mean, it's Scump. He's a top 5, top 10 player of all time, and arguably he has track record for having not only some of the best years, but best events. The man had, like, if we're talking potential and if we're talking like overall stock, like no matter what has happened, he is top of the list. He can be the best player and the most valuable player on any team if he gets to his level. Now, obviously, the only thing stopping Scump from getting there is, in my opinion, himself. I don't know what causes it, but I don't think there's any reason why he shouldn't have been one of the best subs in World War II. World War II had a very, very good submachine gun in the PPSH and a very easy one to use. Now, maybe it was just how the game played for him, but I think he definitely should have been top sub in that game when he wasn't. But BO4, I mean, again, the man could literally come out and be the best player in the world. So his stock is at an all-time high, or not stock, but his value is at an all-time high if he becomes the best. And then obviously TJ being another top prospect coming into a game. I mean, the man is one of the best, if not the best SND player in the game right now, but also a top 3 sub with very good respawn skill for being also very good at SND. You know, he's very good at SND and respawn consistency. So this SND duo has the potential to be the best of all time, if not definitely the best in BO4 starting off. And then Krim obviously is going to play the flex role, I'd imagine. And Krim I think may be a worriment, because I know he was really good at World War II, but yeah, I don't even know, I don't know what I'm saying. I don't know why I had something wrong with Krim at the beginning, but now I'm thinking about it. There's no way Krim, I don't think, can be bad at this game. Because his value to a team is so important that it doesn't matter if he's not dropping numbers. Do I think Krim will drop the numbers, any numbers in BO4? No. Let me put it like that. I don't think Krim will be valuable in the sense of he's not dropping the most numbers in BO4, I don't think. I think those numbers are reserved for Dashy, TJ, and then I think Karma. We'll get to Karma in a second, again. But Krim, I think he's going to be valuable in other senses. Leadership, roll call, or not roll calling, but play calling. I think he's just going to be a very vocal leader player in what they need. Because Karma necessarily isn't a leader. Or, well, no, he's a leader. He's not an IGL. He's not an in-game leader. He's very, very, he can call plays at SMD, but he's not an in-game leader in the sense of other modes or, other aspects. He's definitely a leader in general. But Krim can take that role. He is a legit IGL. So Krim is very valuable and definitely the best fit for that team considering how much star power. You know, he can lead a team with star power. Moving back to Karma, I think it was absolutely stupid to drop Karma in the first place in World War II. I don't know why they did it. I mean, that's one of the players like Scump, you know, his value when he is in his prime. Like, did we forget BO2 Karma existed? Like, did we see how amazing that guy was? Like, how much of a player, or how evolved of a player he looked? This man's value when he's in his prime should be the best of all time next to Scump. So I think dropping him was a definite mistake. Probably just had a bad year. I mean, understandably, if he has a bad year, you should drop him. But again, excuse me. But again, I just have this feeling he's going to be the best player in the game this year. I don't know what the feeling is. I just think maybe he realizes he can't become that bitch role all the time. Like, maybe he realizes now, like, I'm going to turn up. Like, I know my value. I'm going to fucking turn up. I'm going to be the leader of this team. Not the leader, but I'm going to lead this team. Like, I am going to kill. I'm going to show how good I am. So I think Karma is going to be a very, very good player, maybe the best. So wrapping up the OpTic segment, I think OpTic Gaming, on paper, is the best team going into World War or BO4. But there's one roster that I think could way above all else, way above them all. We have 100Thieves. We have Enable. We have Octane. We have Slasher, we have TJ Haley, or not TJ Haley, Kenny, and Pharaoh. Wow. This lineup has so much potential, it's insane. This could be the next dynasty, right? Like, this could be the next dynasty, the next Cole, the next OpTic. I mean, I really don't know what to say about this roster other than this could go very good or very, very, very bad. Let me explain. For one, this roster is very heavy on AR presence and slaying power. You have Kenny, the best sub from World War II, and arguably one of the best slayers we've seen from that year. You know, like, not that year, but his World War II slaying was one of the best slaying years we've ever seen. Pharaoh, a top prospect, up there with, you know, Dashy, Kenny, TJ, and etc., Hugh, and etc. But he is at like I mean, look, he's already at a pro level. Like, his skill level is insane. What he can do right now is insane. His slaying, again, outmatched almost. Then boom, Octane Slasher, 2 of the 3 top 3 ARs for the past 3 years. BO3, the top 3 ARs. Octane Slasher, formal, no order. IW, Octane Slasher, formal, no order. World War II, Octane Slasher, accuracy, no order. Their AR presence is on lockdown. Those are 2. Slasher is one of the purest long-range shots in COD history, and Octane is one of the best. Don't get it twisted when I say this. Best-looking players of all time. His skill can reach otherworldly, you know, proportions if in the right moment. Their AR presence is going to be insane, and obviously you have Enable being a great in-game leader and one of the best we've seen for the past few years, but also a very consistent player. I don't know if the word's consistent, because SND last year was nothing but consistent. or was everything but consistent.
Enemy SATCOM spotted.
But I think that was a good choice because let me get to the flaws about this team and why I think this team could crumble. There is a lot of, I think, vocal people on that team, and I think there are a lot of hotheads on that team.
Enemy SATCOM spotted.
For one, I don't think Octane is a hothead. I don't think he will be a problem. I think he'll sit there, he'll talk, you know, he'll want to win. I want to talk about the other four. I don't think Enable's a hothead, but I think he knows he's the leader of the team. Nadeshot brought him on 100 Thieves to be the leader, I think. Be the in-game leader. I think he knows that. Let's look at Slasher. I think Slasher wants to be the leader. I think Slasher wants to be the guy that calls everything. I think he wants to be the focus of the team because Slasher is very, very... He is knowledgeable, but he thinks he's the he thinks he's the smartest players to ever live. He has a very confident, cocky attitude in the sense of he thinks he's right no matter what. At least like 90% of the time. And then, you know, he wants people to listen to them or listen to him. Because people say he's a hothead. If something isn't done his way, he gets very upset. If, you know, if he feels like he's carrying the team, he'll let you know, which could put some people down. And here comes Pharaoh. Pharaoh, I don't know that. I don't know. But Pharaoh, people have said that he can be cocky, and he can be very, like, self-knowledgeable, like he thinks he is right as well, and he doesn't like being talked down to or seem like he's being talked down to. But then other people have told me he's calm, chill, and you know he won't cause problems on any team. He'll just listen. Which, if it's him just chilling and listening, the team won't have a problem at all. But if he doesn't like being talked like that, or if he thinks he doesn't like being criticized, this could go very bad. Because Slasher could literally, not him himself, but there could be a lot of arguments from this team. And Kenny, I feel like, is another player where he'll listen to an extent, but at the same time, he's not afraid to say, you know, why he thinks he's right, which again, going against Slasher, that could be very bad considering what people say about Slasher, especially, you know, from some pros saying, you know, he's very hot-headed and he's very aggressive when it comes to being a leader type role. So 100 Thieves could be the next dynasty. They could be the next team to write history in COD. They could be the next team to change esports. They could be the next, I guess you could say FaZe Clan from CS. They could be the next Final Boss from old school Halo. They can be the next SK1 Telecom. You never know. You never know. But also this team could crumble because of how leadership could work, and because how egos, you know, how personalities could clash. The team has a lot of vibrant personalities. It could clash and crumble in due time. You know, one event could mean the crumble of this team. So I think this team has a lot of potential. Their ceiling is very high, but their floor is very, very low. Their bottom is very, very low. So that wraps up the organizations and the teams I want to talk about, being EG, OpTic, and 100 Thieves. But I want to give a quick teaser about some other rosters. Not teaser, but some thoughts on other rosters to keep out for. I want everybody to look at Looney, Splice, Luminosity. I want what's for Jiggy? I forget the other roster I was thinking about. Echo Fox. I want everybody to pay attention to Echo Fox, Luminosity, Rise Nation, and there was one other team I said. What was it? I just had a brain fart, dude. What was it? Luminosity, Rise Nation, United, Echo Fox, and fuck, even Lightning Pianos. Like, Like a lot could happen between these rosters. Is what I'm trying to get at. Who's to say these 3 rosters? Because I think right now they're the 3 best rosters going into the BO4 right now. But who knows? 5 days from now, you could have a team with Gunless, Formal, John, JCap, and fucking I don't even know. Like that team already sounds beastly. But then like so JCap, John, Looney. Fucking Looney, that guy, I mean, like on paper, that could be a dynasty too. I mean, that arguably is better than the OpTic roster right now. Arguably. So keep on lookout. This year could be very, very eventful when it comes to rosters, potential, and what so be. I'm really excited for the rest of this offseason, which is ending soon. I mean, the offseason is coming to an end in 11 days. I'm very excited. Very excited. But that'll be the end of my video, guys, going through the teams of EG, OpTic, and 100Thieves. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave comments down below on feedback of what you want me to do better, certain video ideas, and what you know, whatever you may think. Also, if you ever want to collab or partner with me in some way, I'm open to that. DM me on Twitter, and I'm gonna say my at BRANDON capital R 6902. I'll also put it down in the description. But again, I am looking for business. If you guys want to do business, if you're a small channel with maybe 10 subscribers, 50 subscribers, whatever, if you want to collab, get your subscribers to know me, get mine to know yours, whatever you want to do. If you want to do it, DM me or even leave a comment down below. But thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate all the feedback you guys do give whenever you give it. Again, thank you guys so much. I will see you guys.